आज हामी एकदमै विशेष अतिथिहरूका साथमा उपस्थित हुन्छौं भनेर हाम्रा आजका अतिथिहरू आइसक्नु भएको छ। उहाँहरूको परिचय पनि गराउने नै छु, उहाँहरूसँग गफगाफ पनि गर्ने छु। त्यो भन्दा अगाडि तपाईहरुले एउटा सानो जानकारी दिउँ। काठमाडौँमा एउटा ठुलो र एउटा एकदमै बृहत एकदमै राम्रो एउटा कार्यक्रम भएको थियो, ब्रान्ड्स एन्ड बियोन्ड। र ब्रान्ड्स एन्ड बियोन्ड यो कार्यक्रम आफैमा के हो, जहाँ जुन हामीले एउटा नाम सुनिरहेका छौँ, एउटा शब्द हामीले एक्चुअली सुनिरहेका छौँ, ब्रान्ड के हो, यो ब्रान्ड र यसको इम्प्याक्ट के हुन्छ, यसै विषयमा कुरा गर्नका लागि आज हामीसँग दुईजना एकदमै महत्त्वपूर्ण अतिथि विज्ञहरू हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूलाई स्वागत गरौँ। एकजना आज हाम्रो आजका अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ यसै जुन यो कार्यक्रम भएको थियो काठमाडौँमा अगस्त 15 र 16 मा ब्रान्ड्स एन्ड बियोन्ड, यसका कोचेयर मिस्टर कनिष्क दासगुप्ता र अर्को हाम्रो आजको अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ यसै कार्यक्रमका लागि जो एकदमै विशेष वक्ता बनेर आउनु भएको थियो, कीनोट स्पिकर हुनुहुन्थ्यो, बीबीडीओ सिङ्गापुरका क्रिएटिभ चेयरम्यान ग्वान हिन। उहाँलाई पनि स्वागत गरौँ। नमस्ते सर, वेलकम टु द शो। And I hope you both are fine, you both are good. I would like to start from Mr. Gwan. So, how did you find the rainy morning in Kathmandu?
Oh, I love rain.
Beautiful, annoying?
Yeah, I mean, coming from Singapore, it's so hot and humid, so the rain is a refreshing change.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Kanishka sir, you have been here in Nepal for like last 20 years.
Yes.
So, of course, the morning or the day or the season is not very new for you, but still, you love rain or what's your experience with rain?
I love winter. I love winter here, but rain is also good.
So you're not a much rainy person?
Not really, not so much.
Wow. So the season, you must be enjoying this season. However, you are here for third time, right?
Yes, yeah. So I was here in 2007 for the very first time. I had a chance to see Mount Everest through the plane. The second time was through another festival, and I had a chance to see many beautiful, beautiful tourist spots. And today, you know, I'm very happy to be with you and to, you know, share some exciting things.
We are also very thankful and grateful actually that both of you gave time to us and to our show. So you have been like for last two times also, like you were in Kathmandu last time also, but this time you are here for a special reason, for program, for the big event that recently happened in Kathmandu, Brands and Beyond. How was your experience with that program?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it was a great turnout. I think the program ran really, really well. I think it's important for, you know, especially companies to understand about brand building and experience, because things have changed and there are lots of new things, especially with AI and technology.
Okay. Kanishka, sir, you are one of those persons who is behind this concept, the Brands and Beyond. Why this Brands and Beyond, or why this concept? What's the meaning? What's the use? What's the purpose?
Yeah, so I have to go back to history a bit. There used to be an event like this. A few years they did it, but then there was a big gap in between. And we thought that it's time.
In Nepal?
In Nepal, yes. So then we thought that there's a time that we should rework and rethink on creating something like this. And then we reached out to these giants and they agreed to come. Why this is that I think though our markets are small and there are challenges, there is no lack of talents. But what's most important is the awareness. And to create awareness, dialogues, meeting these people in real life and talk to them will enrich our fraternity, means advertising and creative. And that was the reason we did. And again, we didn't want it to do just brand, because advertising has evolved so much that it's beyond any brand creation.
That's why Brands and Beyond.
So we have kept it open. So tomorrow it can be more on digital or print or electronic activation. Anything can be a part of it to build a brand. So that's why we have added Beyond.
Okay. So do you think this program are really beneficial? Have to be such programs we need to like organize again and again, and are this program really beneficial? You believe so?
Definitely, yeah. So I think these programs are held around the world. I think for people, especially here, they need to be exposed in what's happening, because if you don't know what's happening around the world, then how do you build your brands here? I think brand building is really important, especially for people to see where your brand is coming from. But for me, I represent the creative community.
Yes.
And so if you're not creative, you don't stand out, you're not going to cut through, nobody's going to buy your product, nobody knows who you are. So building a brand, whether it's a luxury brand or a small brand, is still important to stand out from a very cluttered market space.
So it was a two-day event, so I'm sure like you also got a chance to understand the Nepalese market or stakeholders or the people who represent this area. So what do you think were does the Nepalese market or Nepalese people or brain actually, Nepalese brain stand in field of branding, or especially the one field, creativity, which is your expertise? Where do you think the Nepalese youth or brain stand in today's context?
So every country has their unique culture. Every country has their own unique ways of doing stuff. I think, obviously, if you look at the West, right, it's very creative. You can do a lot of things. I mean, probably different expressions. I think here you need to understand, well, for me, understanding the rich culture, able to tap on it, and to be able to connect with consumers. So for me, for this market, I think there is also a struggle between traditional brand building and then digital or technology brand building. And there was quite a lot of discussion based in that talk, right? And I think tradition, like a television, a TV ad, is still really important. So understanding your target market, understanding what platforms to use will be key in reaching out to your people that you can attract and sell the work to.
Kanishka sir, you have been in this advertisement field in Nepal for like you have 20 years long experience. What's your experience with the Nepalese advertising sector?
I think it's very positive. It's changed a lot, but then there are challenges. And this conference, we got very interesting thing which I want to share is that there was another speaker, very well known friend of ours and creative guy called Pratap Sutan. So Pratap said in his campaign presentation that he started his presentation saying that my presentation is totally made by AI, and AI is the new fad. Everybody is talking of AI as if AI will do everything. And he said, this is actual intelligence.
Wow.
So that's what is we need to tell, that it's not just digital, or it's not just activation or print or television. Each of them are pillars. You cannot do anything without the second one. So I cannot say that I don't want a print ad, but I'll do digital and I'll flourish. It will not happen. So we complement each other, and that's what we wanted to create, which I think the market is still evolving to understand. Otherwise, creative wise, we have progressed a lot. When I came, and today, new generation guys are excellent. But then this awareness and this hand holdings will create. Another story I want to add, that which earlier conferences I have not seen, that these guys were, all of them, all these speakers were very accessible to the audience or the participants. So I kept on seeing them, talking to them, giving them inputs outside the conference. And today morning while coming, I saw a girl who has opened an agency in Biratnagar, small agency, putting these guys' photos and saying, I have found my mentors.
Wow.
And that is what we want. We just don't want people to go to a conference and take the goodies and go back.
So you think it was a successful event?
It is successful, and it will be more successful in future for sure.
That means we will be seeing like more such events in coming years as well.
Of course.
That's really a good news and good sign for all of us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you
Congratulations
for
also
calling us.
for the successful completion of the event. Now, talking about Nepalese market, what we believe is like when we see advertisements or branding on television or any media, any form of media, there are some limited kind of business or entrepreneurs who dare to come, you know, and because Nepalese market is still dominated by some traditional businesses, and especially talking about import business or import or the trading that we have been doing, and that is predominant in Nepal. Do you think there's scope for this space of branding in this kind of business as well, whether it's like import business or trading? Do you think there's scope of branding?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think branding is important to any business, no matter how small. I also give talks on personal branding too. So branding is not just about selling anything. It's about standing for who you are and standing to have your values and personality. So I think branding is important through business because it connects with your consumers. And if you think about it, everybody sells water, right? If you're selling water, what makes your water better than your competitor? So is your water made from a better source? Is your personality very funny? So branding really helps to stand out from the marketplace. And also, people buy people. If a brand is a person, would you buy a brand? Because if a brand isn't just a product these days. So when you create a personality, it also resonates with your target market.
Wow, and it's a beautiful concept that branding is not only about promoting your business, it's about your own self, about an individual as well. Everyone needs a brand, even an individual can have a brand. So, of course, this is a thought which is like evolving in in the generation which is growing up, but we still lack this kind of thought. We see in like the older generation or the generation which is still very hesitant to invest financially in branding, because they believe that we just rule the market and what's the need. So how would you convince that the generation which is still not very flexible to invest in branding, how would you convince them?
So I think there's short term and there's long term. So we call it tactical ads, is where you do self-promotion, cheap, buy, I can just push. So there's a lot of product sort of push, right? But what happens is that someone's going to come with something cheaper, someone's going to come up with something faster, and someone's going to come with something better. How do you fight in that tactical space? That's where brands come in with the personality. And
market has completely changed over a few decades.
Like. So as your market grows in sophistication, so will your consumers. And people want authentic brands. People want brands they can relate to. People want brands they can enjoy being part of. So if you're not into that space, you will succeed in the short term, but in the long term, you'll be losing with companies that have great branding.
Wow. And as you are the expert of the creativity, and we need to talk on those things as well. Like before that, I would like to go to you, Kanishka sir. How was the response about this program from the market, or
still now whatever we have got is very good. People enjoyed, learned, and as you said, that a lot of people are asking us that, will you do it again? So that's very encouraging. And from the speakers, they also loved it. So that he also vouched that, because I think all of them have reached a place where they want to also give back to society, and these platforms make them do that more.
So now it's time for take us to take us a break in a show, and after the break, commercial break, we'd be like coming into the topic I really want to talk with you, the creativity in branding and advertisement. Good morning Nepal मा छौं हामी र आज हामीसँग दुईजना एकदमै विशेष अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ. हामीले कुरा गरिरहेका छौं ओभरअल एडभर्टाइजमेन्ट एजेन्सी र त्यसमा पनि ब्रान्डिङको ब्रेकमा गइसकेपछि, ब्रेकबाट आइसकेपछि हामीले विशेष गरेर क्रिएटिभिटीको महत्त्व के हुन सक्छ ब्रान्डिङमा, र ब्रान्डिङमा हामीले क्रिएटिभिटीलाई कसरी बुझ्छौं यस बारेमा चर्चा गर्नेछौं. अहिलेलाई लिँदैछु यो कमर्सियल ब्रेक. ब्रेकपछि फेरि स्वागत छ. गुड मर्निङ नेपाल हेर्दै हुनुहुन्छ. हामीसँग आज दुईजना अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ. वान हिन जो बीबीडीओ सिङ्गापुरको क्रिएटिभ चेयरम्यान हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँ सिङ्गापुरको नागरिक पनि हो, र त्यस्तै हामीसँग अर्को अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ कनिष्का दासगुप्ता जो ब्रान्ड्स एन्ड बियोन्डका को चेयर हुनुहुन्छ. नेपालको एडभर्टाइजमेन्ट एजेन्सी वा यो ब्रान्डिङको जुन हाम्रो कन्सेप्ट छ यहाँ लामो समयदेखि 2 दशकदेखि सक्रिय रूपमा कार्यरत हुनुहुन्छ. फेरि पनि हाम्रो कुराकानीलाई निरन्तरता दिउँ. सो मिस्टर वान, you just had given me the book, and I went through some of the pages about its collide. So I would like to start from this book in this part of our show, Embracing Conflict to Boost Creativity. The first question, what is conflict and what is creativity? Why this subtitle?
Yeah, very good question. So this book was it's published by Penguin Random Southeast Asia, and they really liked the idea. So there have been many books on creativity, and I wanted a book that is disruptive in the marketplace. And I think as myself, as an Asian, we always run away from conflict. We don't want any collision in our lives. But it's sometimes the collision in our lives that makes us who we are. Again, I'm not talking about, just any collision, right? I think the collision here is about conflict that we can actually learn from. So this book is about creative conflict. And so as you read the title, I want people to embrace conflict to boost creativity. So you're thinking, how do you boost creativity? If you think about, so this is a very simple strategy or way of how a lot of innovative product has been created. Let's think about food, right? So food, you think about, there's always a collision between two different cultures. So the East meets West. You collide, you come up with something beautiful. Mexican food too. So a lot of cultures come together to collide. Let's talk about movies, right? If you think about superhero movie, Superman, right? There's always a collision with a villain or a small little green stone called a kryptonite. Tension, collision, conflict gives rise to interesting stories that makes it very authentic. And I think this is a very powerful way to come up with great innovative products.
So can I say that you're trying to say that brands should embrace, accept conflicts to create, that unique, unique creativity or identity in their branding? Yeah.
So I'll just share with you some of the products I've done, so it gives you a bit of idea. So for example, Kit Kat, which I worked on for many, many years, right? I mean, if you're selling Kit Kat as just the classic chocolate wafer, it's a bit boring. In Japan, there's 300 flavors. They collide with different flavors. So in, for example, green tea, Kit Kat, different flavors, they mix it up. So in Singapore, they created this thing called, it's like a chocolate factory many years ago. They collided with food. So there's chili crab Kit Kat. There's a local food in Singapore, nasi lemak Kit Kat. So, but these collisions are interesting because it gives innovation for people to try. Even Burger King, when it was April Fool's Day, I think it was during COVID, they came up with this thing called the chocolate Whopper. So I think food, as you experiment, is a collision. If you think about it, your iPhone, right? It's a collision between a watch, a camera, music, it's a weather, it's everything. So I feel like with collision, you can come up with great, interesting innovation.
It's quite challenging also, like you have to be very innovative. What are the possible conflicts? Or sometimes you may need to create some new conflict by yourself as well. It's very challenging. So is this book really helpful? I think you have read this book, right?
I have not read it, but I've browsed through. Yes, very interesting. A lot of things, I have 100 questions which I can keep on asking, but yeah, this was one, of course. And the one you have done with the 7 points on collide, that was something I wanted to know.
So part of collision is also coming up with a framework. So this book is not just for fun, right? I think this is book for marketeers or this book for students. I want to create a very simple book. So this one has lots of illustrations if you flip through. And I also have a very simple framework, which is based on the word collide. So the first word, C, is for understanding the context of what's happening in your marketplace. Then O is about finding the opportunity, because there's a lot of opportunities there that people don't pull, right? Collide with L, and L is very simple, learn and leverage. Sometimes, we learn, but we don't leverage another brand. We learn, but we don't leverage our life experience. So we learn and leverage, right? Then I, which is my favorite, which is the ideate, come up with ideas. And my book has lots of different excellent executions. Then, a D. D is to develop, right? I mean, you need to develop ideas. And E, which is the most difficult, which is to execute. You can always think about ideas, but if you don't spend money, you don't spend time, you will never ever execute. So this sort of simple framework helps anyone to come up with fantastic ideas.
And this is why you titled the book Collide?
Yes.
Okay, this is the reason why the book is titled as Collide. So we got to know about so many creative things. How can we create ideas by embracing the conflict, or something that can be really very unique to customers, to consumers. But now once you identify your possibilities and you embrace those things to launch a product, now what comes next is branding. How you brand those things, or how you brand your idea. It's about branding your ideas, So do you think business houses or any individual also is really very creative in terms of branding also, or the market is being very creative in terms of branding also? Like, it's all about first creating the product and then how you take it to the market. So do you think, I would like to go first with Kanishka sir.
So I think what he said is very important, that what is the goal for the client or whoever they establish. Are they looking for a short-term solution, or they want to make their brand stay long?
Yes.
So for example, a proper brand building A very simple example is that people have forgotten what they buy, but they remember the brand. Say for example Colgate or a Cadbury.
Yeah.
It's very cliche example though, but that's what they have built. They have built for so long that you ask for a Dettol, you don't ask for what you are asking for.
Yes.
So, are you looking for that? In Nepali brands also there, nobody, it's sooner or later it will become like YY.
Yeah, we have
so
the
nobody asks for noodles, they'll say YY.
Yes.
So, that's a brand building. But if they have that vision, they will go and invest on brand building. Tactical, of course, people will be doing, as you said, during certain sales, festivity, buy one, you'll get one free, all those things will keep on happening. But serious companies will spend, and they are spending.
Yeah, and all these things that you have just mentioned about all these ideas of embracing the conflict and then bringing it all together. In today's market, do you think all these ideas are possible with the traditional form of branding, or what we call is print? Is that possible with print also, or like digital or television is the only option? What do you think?
Yeah, no, this is multi-platform. This concept. I mean, for print, you've seen fantastic ideas. So one of the ideas I shared on print was many years ago, Burger King wanted to create very hot French fries, right? And this ECD called Andy Clark created this beautiful print ad, which shows a French fry, but in the shape of a matchstick. And the way they did the matchstick was as though the French fry was dipped into the hot sauce. So it looks like a matchstick. And this is a collision between a French fry and a matchstick to create fiery fries, which is chili fries. So I feel like this concept will help brands to stand out. Why is creativity important? I think we've been talking about it. So, I mean, if clients are afraid, I think it's important to realize that creativity is your special power. It is free. So if you're creative, you can come up with things that is innovative. And when you're innovative, people stand up and, and try to buy. I think, so can I just build on branding too, as on that same topic? Yeah. Brands are people that you want to build trust. That's really, really key. So when you don't have any branding, how do I trust, you or him about, you're selling me something? Because you can sell me cheap one day and then cheaper another day. And then, obviously that doesn't build any trust.
Yeah. So you said that, the line creativity is free. Yes, it's free, but of course it's free. But where we stand today, the previously, like you were talking about AI and actual intelligence, but we also talk about artificial intelligence, do you think that this AI or any technology which is evolving is somewhere it's impacting the creativity either negatively or positively? What's your say on that?
Actually, it's both. It's negative if you do not know how to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's negative. So AI won't take over our jobs. People who know how to use AI will. Okay, and AI, as it's progressing, even though as we're speaking, it could be different tomorrow, but it's very certain that we need to harness AI. So as he talked about actual intelligence, I also have a term which is called HI, which is we need to be clear with our human imagination, and we amplify through AI. Amplify through AI. So AI can be used as a tool. AI can be used as a way to harness whatever we already know and push it. But they're not going to tell us what to do because we know what we need to do.
So you also stand with the same view.
Yeah, totally.
I thought you were trying to say something and I just interrupted.
No, I didn't. I just wanted to tell you that the print, we go back to the print, very important is that still we believe or trust a written document.
Yes.
Means, for example, there can be 100 posts on a social media, but the fake thing is so much that we will still go back to a newspaper and read it once.
True.
I mean, when we are talking of a book, we will get inspiration reading Collide, not in a digital format so much yet. The people do that, but
so many people are not used to very friendly still.
Yes, not yet. And then somewhere print media gives authenticity, which still our mindset maybe, because there is not much of control on digital, on the news, on the authenticity, on the product and stuff. Means if you look at Insta, you will see thousands of ads of products which are selling without branding. You may try, but then you will not go next time because maybe the quality is not there. Again, coming to you, what you said is rightly that a branding gives you the assurance, trust, which you know that you can go back to this brand, which is not there in other way.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for ever print or any media, I mean, there needs to be some level of authority. So I think this book was printed through Penguin, Random, Southeast Asia.
I mean, also have some other questions as well for this book. Like, can people? Is this available in Nepal's market?
Unfortunately, not at the moment. But I'll definitely try and speak to Penguin.
But I'm sure like there are so many people who are watching this show right now. Might want
I will push for it now.
I think if you have some, you keep it.
Yes.
We'll sell
yes.
Because there might be so many people who are willing to get this book.
Yes.
So I think you must need to get that way.
Yes.
How can people get this book? So
I mean, it's available in Amazon in quite many countries around the world. Yeah, Amazon
doesn't come here.
Yes. Yeah, that's also a problem. Like we can't get books or anything directly from Amazon here in Nepal as well. So is there any other option? Like we are talking about digital platform also and modern ideas also. So is there any other option?
Kindle.
For this book actually?
Actually Kindle,
Kindle and the best option is that we start creating more programs like this and keep him calling him, inviting him every time.
Wow, that's great. But I was reading a program yesterday, and that was a book launch. And there was a very very appreciative initiation that took was they launched the hard copy and at the same time in the same ceremony they launched ebook and also they promised to launch the whole series of audiobook as well. Like they launched few episodes in the same ceremony and they promised to launch the whole audiobook as well. And we can say that this is also a kind of creative creative like collide, you know, and a kind of branding for the publication house and for the authors as well. So there's a concept of branding. We can say that there's a concept of branding, and you know, there's a space for this creative collide in every sector, in every field, beyond our imagination.
Definitely.
So any last say for our youth, for our like entrepreneurs, or for the people who are already here and people who want to build a career? Any last words from your side?
So I think creativity, obviously trying to get into the business, it sounds very difficult, especially in marketing and advertising. So one word I would actually advise to have resilience, because I think resilience and passion, those two need to go hand in hand. Without passion, I mean, you give up very easily. But for me, I was born in a family of doctors, and so my parents wanted me to be a doctor, but I really was passionate about being creative. So if you are a parent of someone who is, if you are a parent of a child who is very creative, please, try and allow them to reach their full potential, because creativity, passion, and that resilience to not ever give up would be very key for you to succeed in creativity in any field.
Yeah. Anything from your side?
Yeah, I think I'll go back to his word and I'll say the new generation should keep on working on AI, the actual intelligence, and HI, the human imagination. If both can be done, we'll have a better future. We
can use AI, the artificial intelligence, to
with human imagination
to amplify.
So that it's a wonderful conversation, sir, for me as well. And you have got like tremendous your career background and so many achievements, which is really impossible for me to share right now in this show also. But even तपाईहरु पनि गएर गुगल गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ, हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ हाम्रो आजको अतिथि हुनुहुन्छ, उहाँको यति ठुलो अचिभमेन्ट छ एजेन्सी सँग रिलेटेड, यो क्रिएटिभिटी ब्रान्डिङमा क्रिएटिभिटीको के रोल छ त्यहाँसँग रिलेटेड, र पक्कै पनि जुन एउटा किताब हामीले यहाँ भर्खरै हेरेका छौं, कोलाइड एम्ब्रेसिङ कन्फ्लिक्ट टु बुस्ट क्रिएटिभिटी, यो किताब अहिले तत्कालै नेपाली मार्केटमा त उपलब्ध छैन, तर कहाँबाट कसरी उपलब्ध हुन सक्छ यस बारेमा पनि हाम्रो अतिथिहरुले सोच्ने बताउनु भएको छ। यो किताब पनि पक्कै तपाईहरुका लागि निकै महत्त्वपूर्ण हुन सक्छ। It was very wonderful session with two of you.
It's very nice to be here.
So much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
र यसै कुराकानीका साथमा अब आजको कार्यक्रमबाट हामीले बिदा लिने बेला भइसकेको छ। भोलि फेरि उपस्थित हुनेछौँ गुड मर्निङ नेपालका साथमा। तबसम्मका लागि हाम्रो टिमलाई बिदा दिनुहोस्। कान्तिपुर टेलिभिजन पनि हेर्दै गर्नुहोला। तपाईहरुको दिन शुभ रहोस्। नमस्ते।